This may not be what you're used to. Usually, I pop on here, talk for 5-7 minutes about how to keep your house tidy or to give you advice on how to bring peace to your space. And that's it. My goal with this podcast was to give you something brief, digestible, and just to kind of make the thought of keeping a house a little less overwhelming. Welcome to the Peaceful Spaces podcast, bringing calm to your surroundings. I'm your host, Chelsea, and I'm not going to tell you what we're going to talk about today. You're just going to have to listen. So, I've been wondering what to do with the podcast now that I'm 10 episodes in. Should I keep going down the road of keeping house and home organizing and all of that? Well, to be totally honest, that's not all of who I am. And I kind of feel like I wanted to share more of who I am versus just one aspect of who I am. So back in September, I asked the Lord how to set restful rhythms. And I felt like he was wanting to co-create peaceful spaces in our home and spheres of influence. And something that the majority of you might know, you might not, I'm a working mom. I help people tell their stories in the digital world. As a digital designer, I work with video, graphic design, copywriting, website development to help get the word out about how awesome a person or a company is. Currently, one of my clients has labeled me a digital evangelist because each week I share a Bible study focusing on one aspect of walking in the Christian faith. I do that on social media. It's really cool to see how many people we're reaching with the simple message of, I love you, from Jesus' perspective each week. And honestly, the Lord has breathed so much life into that. It's genuinely nothing that I could do, like physically. It's genuinely all him. And that's kind of where I want to start. Kind of where I want to start is in this sphere. I'm sharing content on different platforms, and my hope is that I'm able to make that sphere of my influence a more peaceful space. You may think of social media as this place to connect with friends and family or to share glimpses of your life, no matter how you choose to frame it. Other folks see it as an opportunity to jump on and, well, I don't even really have to say much more. We kind of all know what I'm talking about. We've seen this huge jump of mental health issues associated with the use of social media for our teens and young adults. I read a statistic somewhere that children spend between 6 and 9 hours a day online watching videos, participating in the online community, 6 to 9 hours a day. And, when we talk about mental health, we talk about social media, I think a lot of us jump on this train of, well, just get off social media then. What's your deal? I think that if you want to do that, that's great. I think that for those of us that are 30 plus, we could very easily give this up because we didn't grow up with it. But my thought is, what if we didn't? What if as the older generation, and yes, millennials, we're getting older, what if we took this as an opportunity to be mothers and fathers and to start shepherding these generations that are online? What if we decided that we were going to share messages of love, hope, and mercy all through this small screen? I used to have a TikTok account. I don't anymore. I'm not going to talk about that, but I used to have a TikTok account. I got it back in 2020 because it's what we were doing. And I thought, whoa, this is great. There are so many funny people out there in the world, and they get to now broadcast who they are to the world. I just thought, this is great. And then it became weird, and not in a in the way that you're probably thinking, but like it just became weird for me. Like as I was scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, I felt like I became more of a sad person. And that's on me. It wasn't that the content that I was consuming was necessarily sad, but every once in a while there would be content that had me questioning a lot, second guessing a lot of things. But one day, as I was doom scrolling, I stopped on this kid who wanted to take 10 seconds to pray. He did the whole thing like, whoa, stop scrolling, and then bam, we were praying. And my heart was filled with so much faith in that moment. If a kid, probably like 10 years younger than me, was jumping on this app to get people to pray with him, like, how many people are feeling the presence of God for the first time in their lives? What if the first time they encountered the Lord was on TikTok? Now, to be super realistic, as someone who is chronically online, I know that it is unrealistic to have every single post or update that you share be about the Lord. I really do get that. Go to my Insta stories right now, and I can guarantee you're going to see a reel or something dumb that I thought was funny, and I wanted to share it because it made me laugh. And I feel like with that, there's a balance, right? I think we want to share things that we think are funny. We want to share things that I think are, that we think are cute. I think that is wonderful. I love seeing people's sense of humors on their Instagram stories. But what if we also took the opportunity to say once a week, to talk about an aspect of our walk with Jesus, like a simple struggle, and I say simple, it's never simple, right? But let's say you take a struggle that you may have had or are still walking through and share how Jesus is walking you through it or has walked you through it. We need to start thinking, and I feel like a lot of us already are, but for those who maybe are still kind of iffy on these platforms, we've got to think about these digital platforms as opportunities to share the love of Jesus. This is just one sphere of influence that we have that can help us bring peace. In Matthew 5, verse 9, we're right in the middle of the Beatitudes, and Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." What if we became peacemakers on these platforms? Instead of bouncing from social media or calling it out in a negative way, we can step out on these platforms and share love. Okay, that's it. That's all she wrote for today's episode of the Peaceful Spaces podcast. I hope you weren't too thrown off by this change of pace. Yeah? I'm going to be sharing more about being a Christian in the tech space, as well as continuing to share more about home management tips and things. Just going to kind of flex, because we're all about bringing peace to our homes and to our spheres of influence. And coming soon, I'm going to start having guests to talk about how they're bringing peace to their spaces in different walks of life. So all different types of people. So I'm really excited. We've got a lot to look forward to, and I'm so grateful for everyone who has taken the time to stop and listen. Y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.